Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The wine glass shattered before I even understood what had happened. One second I was smiling at our guests. The next my husband Ethan was slamming the glass onto the counter so hard the stem snapped like a brittle bone. The sharp crack froze every conversation in the room. Laughter died. Music seemed to flatten into a dull hum. My stomach dropped so fast it hurt. He did not look at me. He simply turned and walked out of the house without a word. For a moment I just stood there, my breath locked inside my chest. I felt every pair of eyes on me waiting, searching my face for answers I did not have. My fingers trembled. My throat tightened. Confusion wrapped around my ribs like an iron band. I swallowed hard, gave a weak smile and excused myself. I hurried through the crowd and stepped outside into the night. Cold air hit my face. Ethan was already halfway down the driveway, walking like a man trying to outrun his own skin. Ethan, stop. Please. He did not turn. His shoulders rose and fell in a fast, uneven rhythm. When he finally stopped, he kept his back toward me. The porch light carved the outline of his body into a rigid shape. What happened in there? I whispered. His voice came out ragged. You know. I blinked. My mind spun. I searched the evening for some hint of what he meant. Some mistake I had made. Some strange interaction I missed. But I found nothing except the thud of my heart and the sting of humiliation creeping up my neck. I really do not know, I said. Tell me. He turned slowly. His face looked carved from stone, stiff with anger and something deeper. Something wounded. Why did Mark say that to you? He asked. Why would he tell you he misses the nights you two stayed late at the office? My breath left me in a painful rush. Mark. My project manager. Someone I respected. Someone Ethan had always disliked. Someone who had cornered me earlier in the kitchen to talk about an upcoming deadline, and had lowered his voice in a way that felt off but not dangerous. At least that was what I told myself at the time. I do not know why he said that, I answered, though doubt flickered inside me before the words even left my lips. A faint memory stirred of a night months ago when I stayed late to finish a client proposal. I remembered how he had stood a little too close. How he touched my shoulder lightly. How I told myself it meant nothing. Ethan stepped closer. Do not lie. Not tonight. His voice cracked and the sound cut right through me. I am not lying, I said, but guilt curled deep in my stomach because although nothing happened, I had never told Ethan about that night. I convinced myself it was unnecessary. I convinced myself it would only create tension. But secrets are seeds. They grow in the dark. And now the vine had wrapped itself around my marriage. Ethan, please. Nothing ever happened. But something almost did, right? He said quietly. That fragile tone hurt worse than any shout. I saw the way he looked at you. I saw the way you froze when he spoke to you. You did not look surprised. You looked scared. I closed my eyes. Scared. Yes. Because I understood the kind of man Mark was in that moment. And I understood how close I had been to a line I never wanted to cross. Ethan, I am sorry I did not tell you. I should have said something. I should have been honest about the night he made me uncomfortable. He let out a rough exhale and looked up at the sky like he was begging for gravity to hold him together. Why did you hide it from me? He asked. Why would you let me walk around thinking everything was fine? Tears blurred my vision. I stepped toward him but he stepped back. I was scared, I admitted. Scared you would think worse of me. Scared you would see a weakness. Scared you would think I encouraged it. And I did not want to add any stress between us. I thought ignoring it would make it disappear. He gave a hollow laugh. Ignoring things never makes them disappear. Silence stretched between us. The distant murmurs of guests drifted through the open windows. Laughter that no longer belonged to our life. I wiped my cheek with the back of my hand. Ethan, please come back inside. We can talk privately. We can figure this out. His jaw tightened. I am tired of pretending nothing is wrong. My heart cracked. Then do not pretend. Just talk to me. He stared at me for a long moment. Then he shook his head. I saw a message on your phone last week, he finally said. From him. Cold fear flooded my chest. I felt my knees weaken. He said he missed working late with you. He said he wished those nights could happen again. My breath faltered. I could not speak. Ethan whispered. You never replied. That is the only reason I am still standing here. But I cannot unsee it. Every word hit like a stone. Ethan, I ignored him because he crossed a line. I thought it would end if I stayed distant. I was wrong. I should have told you. I am so sorry. He looked at me, eyes full of pain and weary love. You did not cheat, he said. But you hid the truth. And it broke something I thought was unbreakable. I stepped closer, trembling. Can we fix it? He pressed his lips together, fighting emotion. I want to. But tonight showed me how fragile trust really is. When he finally walked back toward the house, I followed, my chest tight with fear. But instead of going inside, he stopped at the door and turned to me. You go in, he said softly. I need space. Then he walked down the dark street alone, leaving me standing under the porch light with a single devastating realization. Sometimes betrayal is not the act. It is the silence that surrounds it.